But where was Bill Ackman when Harvard was systematically, as it is today, discriminated against people on the basis of their race? Straight white men. Harvard discriminates against them. There's no guessing about that. There was a lawsuit about it. We have the numbers. No one said a word. No one said a word. Where was Paul Singer? These are now big Republican conservative donors. Were they upset? Did they say anything? Did they do anything meaningful? These are billionaires. If anybody could have weighed in effectively against systemic racism, real systemic racism, causing harm, promoting one group over another on the basis of race, it would have been guys like this. They said not a word. Or they certainly didn't do anything about it, that's for sure. Now they're all upset. Well, that looks like self-interest to people watching. These, for the fifth time, are universal principles. The continuation of the United States depends upon those principles. They must be vigorously defended, above all by the most powerful people in our society, the people who not simply have a voice, but have power to enforce those principles. The meritocracy is not just some goal that we should strive toward. It's the whole point. You have to judge people on their behavior, not on their blood. Otherwise, you move very quickly into collective punishment. This is why what Israel is doing in Gaza is immoral, not simply because it's a bloody war where civilians are being killed. That's very common and very sad. But what makes this different and worthy of comment is that Israeli politicians are saying out loud, and Mark Levin is joining them and saying out loud, and a number of other Americans are saying out loud, it doesn't matter if they die because they're stained from birth by this sin. It's the opposite of universalism. It's tribalism. And it's certainly not unique to the Middle East at all. And anyone who thinks it is an idiot. It's the human condition. It's a state of man. It's like the deepest, most obvious sin that we exhibit. But it's the whole problem. And you see it in this country too. Oh, that's outrageous. Really, Donnie Deutsch? Is it outrageous? Did you say anything about the racism all around you and the elite institutions that you're so proud of being a part of? It was the basis of those institutions. No, we're going to help some people and hurt other people based on what their parents look like. So why don't you sit this one out, actually? Why don't you be quiet for a moment and think about what the core problem is? That's the core problem right there. It's not a defense of racism or anti-Semitism. It's all the same. It's the only reason to oppose it. If it applies to you, it applies to me. You should defend that principle as vigorously as I do. And let's hope, there's no evidence that's happening, by the way. Everyone's just retreating into their own little group, being like, no, I don't want my people to get hurt. No. You don't want any person in our country ever to face that, ever. That's why segregation was wrong. That's why the Nazis were bad. I mean, really? We have to have this conversation? Apparently we do. It's not an attack on everyone to point that out. It is not an attack on anyone to point that out. It is instead a defense of everyone. It's not an attack on anyone. It's a defense of everyone. It's the only defense of everyone. And it's the only way forward. So that's the environment that these kids grew up in. Racism is wrong. Anti-Semitism is wrong. How would they even know that? How would they know that? Because you've been committing it. Probably had no idea. The second thing to remember about this audience, and I'll just say I'm 56, so how well do I understand Nick Fuentes' audience? I don't know, probably not that well. But I've made some effort to try to understand it, again, because it's just objectively important. The second thing to remember is that they have been attacked, again, not making them victims, not making excuses, just trying to explain how we got here, for the last 10 years because they are male, because they are men or boys. And not just subtly with the overwhelming emphasis on female achievement in school. And what about the girls? How are girls doing? Well, actually, girls are doing great. It's the boys who are withering and dying, turning inside, internalizing the hate against them, and as is so often the case, exhibiting it as self-hate. not just ignored, but attacked out loud for being male by some of the most powerful people in our society.
Well, Tucker Carlson is now realizing that some of the so-called billionaires really do not care about the people as much as we might have thought they care. Now, listen, I have said this before, and I'll keep on saying it on this platform. Those billionaires don't care about you as per se. They don't care about you as fellow citizens. They don't care about what is right from what is wrong. All they care about is controlling the narrative. That is all. They just want to control the information flow. That is it. And whenever they have control over the narrative, it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong, they would promote it. They will promote it. The narrative to them is way more important than any other thing. And they love this whole idea of pitting people against each other. They love it. You hardly see the billionaires fighting themselves across party lines or across cultural lines. You hardly see them say, oh, I am against this person. I am against this policy. I am against this belief system. So I will go into the street and protest. No. You hardly see them do that. They don't believe in any of those things. They don't. No matter what you think about those conservative billionaires, they don't think, if you really could see deep down into them, they don't think that a pro-life rule or a pro-choice rule is good or bad. They just think a rule is a rule. Now you could be for or against. That is you. They don't care. They might be for it today. Let's say they might be a pro-choice advocate today. And when the table turn, they also will turn to become a pro-life advocate. They are not believers. They don't believe in all those causes that you people believe in. Republican, Democrat, what does that even mean? Billionaires fund both camps. They give money through different think tanks and different non-profit organizations that trickle down to politicians, both Republicans and Democrats. They fund both camps. It has never been what was right or wrong from the get-go. Never ever. It has always been about who controls the narrative. It is an information war they are fighting. Someone like Elon Musk, he used to be a strong supporter of the Democrat, isn't it? And he gave millions to them. I heard that even Barack Obama also gave him a lot of, tax break and stuff. That he was really set on a path to success by Barack Obama's policy. That is it. But now he is saying that he is a Republican and he gave Trump $200 million. Ask yourself, what was that for? What was that for? Because believe me, there were many things that Elon Musk should have used that money on to benefit poor people. He would have bought houses for homeless people. He would have helped junkies get themselves clean. He would have provided medication for people who cannot afford it. He would have done so much to help ordinary people, isn't it? But he did none of those things. Why? Because those things wouldn't benefit him. But if he could buy a politician like Trump for the sum of $200 million, he was sure that when Trump gets into the White House, he was gonna recoup his investment. He was gonna get some profit from the investment. He was buying his way into Trump's favor. He was buying Trump's favor. And he turns around and said he is a fan of Republicans. He is a fan of conservatives. If Elon Musk is a conservative and is someone who believes in conservative values, why is he not married? And why is he having children with every single person he came across? He has 11 or 12 or 13 children with multiple women. Why is he not married? Is that conservative value? Is Elon Musk really a conservative? But MAGA will celebrate him. The Republicans will celebrate him. You see how you are being played, right? That is exactly how you are being played. You get nothing in return, but you are being asked to give everything. That is how you are being played. Billionaires will never fight each other. Politicians, no matter what they say on air, they meet after talking and have lunch together. I think I saw this interview with this ex-CIA official who said that if you have ever been to Washington and see how the so-called Republicans and Democrats work together, you'll be amazed that people in the field, people in the communities will fight each other, will not talk to each other because they are quote-unquote political enemies. But their elected representatives are in Washington having lunch with each other, having dinner with each other, striking deals with each other. They are pitting us, the common people, to fight ourselves. They have told us that this is war. And we believe them. We believe them because we thought they were honest people. But they are not. They are not honest people. They are a bunch of liars and manipulators. That is exactly who they are. They have seen our weaknesses. They have seen how vulnerable we are. And they are using that against us. They are making a fool out of us all. They are playing us for a fool. It's rather so sad. They tell us we must defeat the Democrats. We must defeat the Republican. Pro-choice is evil. Pro-life is an infringement on the rights of the person. They pit us against each other. And we stay in our communities and we fight each other. They go to Washington and then meet for lunch and dinner and strike deals that benefit them. We have always been fools.